Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Justin Fields, week 2 in Tampa. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. So before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of this channel. If you dig the YouTube videos, and really this type of YouTube video, long, in-depth, nuanced, detailed takes on quarterback play, offensive football, defensive structure, coverages, pressures, you will love the Quarterback School Patreon community. Get over there, support the channel, get even more Quarterback School content. I appreciate your support. As for this video, here we go. All right, y'all, we're really doing this. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, week 2 on the road. First one here. Big in to the bottom. Now, this ends up being a big chunk, and we'll talk about all the good things about this because I think that there is some significant positives to this play. Obviously, big chunk. I think it's interesting to see how they got to this. Probably a little check with me for Fields. I like the rhythm and tempo that he's got here. But at the end of the day, to me, this ball is still way off. Now, I know it turns into a big chunk, and we'll go through the operational element here, but this ball is not close to being thrown where it wants to be thrown. So they're doing whatever their system is to alert or can this thing. For me here, this is just simple dagger. So they're going to catch middle field closed. Great. We don't want to run it. Let's throw it. We're going to run what I'm used to calling like a post clear, and then where the ball ends up going down here to this in. Okay, so an in usually is thrown on the move. You want to put it on him, and there are really, this is not recess. Okay, there are specific landmarks where you're going to split the difference between the hash and the numbers. Well, you need to get somewhere close to where you're supposed to be, and then the ball is thrown with anticipation at a certain spot. Now, and I'm not saying it's the same in every offense, but what you don't see very often in the NFL is guys run deep ins, have the ball have to slow you down, and then you spin back out of it. I'm not saying it's not a good play. It is, but it doesn't look anything like the precision you would want to see from an NFL passing game. So just watch the route to the bottom. It's a little spray in, rounded in there, put it on him, and then he spins out. It almost ends up being like a curl. So just the precision is not there for me. Now, play action wise, I love the drop. 3-step, I don't love the speed of it. But that base right there, and we're getting backed here, but there's a nice rhythm to it. It's one of the very few throws this game where he actually throws it in rhythm on one hitch. 1, 2, 3. It times out the timing of it. It looks connected, the drop and the route and the spacing. The pass protection is awesome. Also, again, play action, first down, love it. And we get pulled here a little bit, but you can see the footwork. Again, just watch the tempo of it. Fake, 1, 2, 3, hitch, reset, out. And again, you can see the ball stop him, right? A perfect ball there is thrown near the hash. That's yards off. Okay, it's not me being a dick. It's not close to where you want to throw it. It works out here because it's wide open. It's a good call. It's well designed. It's a big chunk, but it's not where he wants it. Next one here. This is just a simple zone read. Now this one has got some vibes for what I make fun of my 13-year-old about sometimes. You're doing too much, bro. You're doing too much. And so we'll see from the back what exactly I'm talking about. I think most people would see this and say, hey, let's just give it to the back here. You know, who knows what we're reading. The guy's going to definitely tackle you in space, no matter what sort of athlete you are. They've got athletes too on the edge. So I think if you're just first kind of glancing at this, like, dude, this video is going to be forever if we're going through each one of these. Yes. Okay, I want to show exactly what this is. This is zone read. This is where your eyes need to be post-snap. It sure looks like Justin Fields is worried about this guy. They've got what looks like an access bubble throw. So if they're asking him to potentially throw a bubble off this and then come back and read this guy down here to the bottom. So watch his eyes. He catches the ball, he peeks this way, and then by the time he comes back to find his conflict defender here, he's already made a guess read, and now he's running with this guy. It's an easy, just give it to him. But because his eyes are all over the place, you're doing too much, bro. They're asking you to do too much. This is not sustainable quarterback play at a high level to be able to look right, look left, read a first level defender. You can't do it. He's guessing to pull there. So watch his eyes really carefully here. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. See him peek right? So thank God the snap is good. So we peek right. Bro, your conflict defender is to the left. It's really hard. In fact, I would say it's borderline impossible to consistently catch a shotgun snap because you got to take your eyes down to catch the ball, peek to the right, come back and read a conflict defender to the left. Now, I'm not saying it's an easy read if you just played it straight out to the left with 9, but that's a give. That's a give, and he probably hits the backside A gap if he stays front side. We just don't. So for me, this isn't a design run. This ends up being a quarterback run, but the play design, what they're asking Fields to do, what he does is not good enough. You cannot sustain playing quarterback like this. This is like having 2 hots off the same side. In fact, it's even harder. Peek to the right, conflict defender read to the left. We're guessing. Now we're tackled in space, taking hits. Damn. So next one here, 3rd and 5. We're going to read what I'm going to call the choice route down here to the number 2 at the bottom. This ends up being a first down. It ends up working out. It's certainly muddier than it probably has to be. Again, nice job from 2 being able to get some yardage after the completion, one of his strengths. But for me here, there's a lot to be concerned about, especially for something that's such a positive play. Like this is one of the bigger chunks of the day. So concept-wise here for me, this is just a glorified clear, whether this is a 7 or whatever from the number 1, then this is what I'm used to calling a choice. So the way he comes off this ball makes it look like it's an option. And then he's just going to run away from the near technique here. So if he's got somebody working from the inside out, doesn't matter who it is, you just run away from him to space. For me, the thing that's concerning is Justin Fields, and I know I could talk about this every single rep, and I know people have taken it sideways and it's grown probably on social media. But whatever the drop is here, you got to have your back foot hit the ground, lined up, ready to go faster. Okay, that's the end of the day. For me, if I had anything to do with this position and how we could play better quickly, it's to let's get a little like hybrid-y with these drops because this tempo ain't working. You got to hit your back foot and be ready to throw. We can't be like lollygagging. And again, I could do the lollygagging, la, 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 every single drop. Just sense of urgency, this thing, hit your foot in the ground, be ready to throw. And again, I'm not saying it's an easy throw. We got dudes right in our face. We got all sorts of issues pass pro-wise all fucking day. Okay, and we'll get to it. And I'm sorry the F-bombs are already coming out, but it's only a matter of time. But the drop thing for me is something that he can control. That's why it's so frustrating, especially for this channel. Like we're talking about the quarterback school. We can't always control our pass pro. Get out. Again, I can't tell you what they're doing pass pro-wise other than the fact that there's significant miscommunication at both guard positions here. Are they 5-0ing this thing? We can't tell I can't tell what they're doing. Either the center's wrong or both the guards are wrong. Regardless, that's a lot of pressure right in your face. Again, just barely getting it out. Now it ends up being a chunk, but man, that is muddy and it's going to get messy doing stuff like that. Next one here, touchdown run. Okay, nice play action fake. Nice call here, a little naked keeper in the short motion. Sell the run. We're going to hunt you out. Go get him. If it's not there, you can see the over potentially there to 2. Again, showcasing Justin Fields' strength here. Get him on the edge. Okay, now, my guy 10, okay, and I'm going to try to make this as like unit specific as possible. My guy 10 has a better effort game. It's just not consistent because he's not what I would consider like a dynamic guy for that position. So yeah, there are some big blocks in this game and we'll get to them. But like falling all over our tight end's feet here, this just kind of sums it up for me. Like you don't see a lot of like dynamic, fluid guys constantly on the ground flopping around. Regardless, really nice job from Justin Fields here. This is an outstanding play call. We're going to be downhill hard, sell this thing, two-handed fake. I would say there might be better ways to do the ball handling, but that's just me. And then again, I love the fact that we put them on the edge, make it a race to the pylon. If it's not there, you can see the throw that would be there as well. Walk in. Again, using Justin Fields' strengths. Get him on the edge. Get him going downhill. I mean, you can see that he's the thing that makes the running thing so crazy for me is Very few guys in the league that play quarterback run away from people. He's running away from people there, and he's gliding. Easy touchdown. Next one here, 1st and 10, ball's on the 50. That's actually impossible. Okay, first of all, that's another pet peeve of mine. The ball can't be on the 50. It's either on the 49, minus 49, or the plus 49. Next, I don't know what's going on here, pass pro-wise first, and then scheme-wise second. We'll go through this thing and watch the sack to get going, and I'll talk about probably what I think are the issues with the pass protection. And it's frustrating when you see potential shots down the field wide-ass open because you don't really get a whole lot of shots down the field with this offense right now. But you got to give yourself a chance. Couple that with the fact that I don't know what really the read would be here if you had time. Okay, now, the first thing here is just down the field. What exactly are the concepts? It looks like it's an in, a crosser, or a post here, and then what looks like a double move. Okay, and the double move wins. Okay, if we're gonna come at this cat, you got to at least say when he wins, 10 wins right here. He throws up the mailbox. This would be a big play if we had the opportunity. Now, the read here, if this wasn't there up top, I don't know what exactly the read would be because we've got safety rotation here. We've got the tight end staying in the block, which we'll talk about. So this in and crosser is muddy. There's nothing really there. So concept-wise, you're throwing a check down if you're not throwing it up top. Now, pass pro-wise, this is what chaps my ass, man. We've got a pretty good edge rusher here. We're going to have issues all day. We've got a eligible tackle. It's the nicest way I can put it right here. We've got the tackle here. Why we wouldn't chip exit this way versus insert, put our hands on the back of the tackle and insert in the B gap here. The only reason you would do that is that you're so terrified for the right guard that you got to give guardrails to him. But watch if he just stays here, like if he just didn't know the snap count and he just stayed here, it would be more beneficial than what he does when he starts moving. Let that sink in. Again, watch what they're trying to do. So this is not me saying I know what the answers are. I'm just saying we're looking at the film. What is the tight end doing pass pro exit wise? You don't get to randomly do shit like this. That's part of the plan. Because if he's just doing that rogue, his ass needs to be on the sideline. Because see what it does? It makes the tackle short set. Look at the tackle. You're supposed to get depth and width at tackle. See how he gets a little bit of depth, but no width because the tight end is there. But then he decides to go, I'm going to exit the B gap. And now we're fucked. Y'all, this is bringing back nightmares about Monday meetings in the league after you get your ass kicked. This to me is scheme. Now, if that's just 85 going rogue, then that's a different discussion. Okay, let's go all the way back here and watch the route at the top because I want to make sure I at least point it out. My guy slow double moves him open here and throws up the mailbox. It's a nice route. Got him. And that's a win. Now, it's not a win by a lot, but it's a win. If that's not there, I don't know where you're going to go with the ball. You're trying to throw an in down here to rotation, not there, post not there, crosser not there. But this is not a plan for successful pass pro. Whatever they're asking the tight end to do, see how the tight end's presence there makes the tackle short set. Versus if he was just on an island, he'd get a lot more depth with that width. Because he short sets, the guy just runs around him. Jesus, it's bad football. Golly. 3rd and 13. Man, this is a rough one on a number of levels. Okay, first and foremost, Justin Fields here, just getting a little bit exposed. Not a little bit. Getting exposed, not being able to get off something and go to a backside in route. We have to be able to make this kind of read to play consistently in the league. That's just the reality of it. It hurts me as much to say it as it does to watch it. And now the footwork is all over the place. It's sloppy. There would be a penalty even if we did throw it. Okay, I'm acknowledging all of that. So first off, what is the play? The play to me is just an iteration of scissors with a backside in. So post, what I'm used to calling a corner or a sail right there, and then a backside in. This is the drop back element of it. Okay, so the first part here is let's just play it like it is, which I think is not that great. When he goes to run this sail, inside release and up, and this DB type is on the inside, it's going to be tough sledding. I'm not going to say it never happens where you can throw him by and come out of this thing. Like if you really believe in this guy, really, really believe him, he's your boy, buddy ball, maybe. But most likely, okay, just clean this thing up. Once you release inside and this guy is inside you as you're running like that, you can come off of it fast. It can be a quick back to this. So it can be essentially whatever the drop is. Let's just say it's 5. So you hit that back foot, you see this, you come immediately, okay, immediately one reset back to the in. So the ball should be thrown here on the second hitch. So basically this sail or corner is the first hitch, one hitch. This in is the second hitch. There's no jump around footwork. There's no bounce around footwork. There's no recess footwork. There's no bullshit. This is as clean as it gets for a backside in. So again, play this thing out. How quickly could we get to the backside in? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you know what I want to say. The drop could certainly be faster, but just play it at his tempo. Hit right there, off of it, off the sail, to the in. Throw the in right down the hash. How many times on this channel do you hear me say, I love a good in down the hash. I love a good in down the hash. You think I invented that shit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, throw. Hitch, jump around. Where are we even looking? Is he looking at the check down? We're trying to throw 85 check flats? I mean, look at, who is that? Moore? He's clapping himself open. I'm telling you, when you see wide receivers start clapping themselves open like this, that's not good, man. That's animosity is brewing. I'm just telling you, it's not good. Now, the other thing, design-wise, okay, so I'm not going to let everybody off the hook. Justin Fields, the main culprit for sure. Design-wise, you want to get better with this. Put this guy on the line of scrimmage. Start this guy out here as a number 1 and fast motion his ass in here so you snap it on while they're stacked. And then you essentially quick release this thing so that they can switch release it. So you get a little momentum. He can't get jacked at the line of scrimmage. You see how the number 2 is on the ball? The number 2 on the ball, he can get jacked. He can get slowed up. You got to get creative with these releases. That's not me making shit up. That's everyone else in the league doing this. Use short motion. Use fast motion. Don't allow your guy to get leveraged by his alignment. And again, the number 1 culprit on this play, 100%, in my opinion, is Justin Fields. The footwork is sloppy. It's all over the place. It's bounce around. It's slow. I mean, it's good enough protection, man. We have to throw the backside in. There's nothing to look at. And let me say it even further. I don't want to see that scissors concept again for the Bears. You know when I want to see that thing? I want to see that thing at Thanksgiving. He can't see it. We can't see it. We can't throw it. Shelf it. Revisit post bye week. Revisit it 2024. Next one here. This is a rough route. Not my favorite concepts married together as well. This is going to be at what I'm used to calling a corner or 7 stop to the bottom. Okay, now, I personally don't know what the hell the wide receiver is doing at the top. I will tell you that in my experience, these 7 stops, corner stops, have very specific landmarks. You don't get to just like go out there and pretend like you're at recess and you run to the crack in the pavement. That's not how this shit works. There's very specific landmarks. And in fact, I would argue that Justin Fields throws this as better, if not better, than any other throw with anticipation. We've seen him do it. We saw him do it last week. So what a corner stop is, run up and run a corner. And then as you go to the corner, a certain number of steps, you stop and turn around. Now, I've seen different people describe it different ways. For me, the way that I've seen it run best is that you just turn around. You just flip around. So you got to throw this with some A. And it's not necessarily like a lot of routes, like high school Harry routes, where you say, come back to the ball or curl around. You sure as fuck don't jump in on this route, ever. I've never seen it done before. Now, this guy might be inventing new ways to F up, but come on, man. This ain't it. Okay, so that's the first part. The other part about this, well, a number of other parts. The other part is he gets rerouted here, okay, because his split is so damn tight. That's design. Okay, but so once you get rerouted here, you got to get into this thing, get to your landmark. I would guess, if I had to guess what the landmark is, it would be the bottom of the numbers, because they wouldn't say 1 yard outside the numbers. They would give you very explicit landmarks. And so you couple that. So that's the 7 stop. Okay, it's there. It should be hit if we had any sort of precision or detail at the top of our routes. That's point 1A. Point 1B here for me is on the backside. This looks like dagger. Okay, so dagger for me has very similar answers to a 7-stop. Now, it might be a little bit more all-purpose, maybe got some man answers as well. 7-stop to me is, or corner stop is a zone beater. But I would love to see, instead of dagger, why not just like air raid Y cross? You know he knows how to do it. All he did was go to school on it at Ohio State. Gives him 3 options with the big play post over the top, as opposed to what I'm going to say here is essentially a glorified clear and an in that takes forever and isn't there. So again, it's the detail and the precision in the drop back game, certainly lacking. And for this one at the bottom, again, you got y'all. I am unfamiliar with what the top of the route is, and again, this is, in my opinion, how position play coaches get fired. You can't go out there and do shit like this. He's throwing it. Look, anticipation, a little bit of anticipation, lowercase a. That's a drive throw down the field. That should hit him right in the, now, I don't know if it hits him in the chest, maybe at the shin. But damn, 10. Oh, man. Let's see what the drop looks like. Of course, we're play faking for no fucking reason. So again, when you play fake like this, so play fake, that adds to me a hitch. So now when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're really already at your second hitch. It's really, in fact, I can't think of very many instances where you want to play fake 5. I'm sure there are some super deep throws, but a 7-stop for me is not it. A 7-stop for me, even if it was just drop, like gun drop, no play action, would be like a rhythm big 3. So you're ready to go. That thing comes out like a sinker, right? I mean, who knows? He might be skipping stones even if he comes out in the correct spot. Damn. You know I'm struggling when I put clips like this into a video. We're going to run hitches on the outside. Normally, I would say hitches are for rhymes with witches. Okay, you're welcome for that one, Norv Turner. But really, one of the few concepts that Justin looked really comfortable with in this game, both from under center and gun, 2-step, rip it. Alleviate some pressure with the offensive line. If they're going to give you hitches, all right. Again, I mean, he's got really either hitch to the bottom or the top. Again, you guys think I'm being mean to 85, but just watch his route. You tell me if there's any suddenness to this route. Hey, man. I don't know, man. So we've got either hitch here. I'll say I enjoyed the play call, as ironic as that is. Just get us a completion, get us feeling good. There's space in the quick game for them to have some success. Spread the field, get it out of his hand quickly. He seems decisive or more decisive on these hitch throws. So don't fight it. They're going to give it to you. You're going to get one-on-ones outside the numbers. Just take it with a hitch. Yes, thank you. Next one here. This to me is lead stretch or lead wide zone. And I want to be, the reason it's on here because I want to make sure that we are at least pointing out 10 making a better effort. I don't necessarily know if this is a good play from 10 on the left. I personally think he looks like he's flopping all over the place like a fish out of water and gets a nice block, a nice outcome there at the end. I don't know what the corner's doing as well, assuming this is the corner up top. Coverage-wise here, I would guess that I am not even going to pretend to tell you what it is. But this guy's technique is interesting. Looks like he's running to the half field when the run is coming right at him, but whatever. But this effort right here is better. And that's at least a step in the right direction. So I would guess that he has the DB type. He's got what most people would call number 4 over here, or the first DB type, MDM, most dangerous man. So when this guy just decides to eject the building and run out of there like he thinks they might be punting, he does a nice job of kind of sorting through, getting jacked at the line of scrimmage, flop around, and then he ends up kind of bringing the thunder right here. So that's, I appreciate the effort, man. That's all I want to say. And I'm going to point it out here, and there's an even better one later on a counter, I think. But this is at least good effort. But I mean, you tell me if he looks like he's like a dynamic athlete, a guy who's going to create separation, flop around. But right there, that's good effort, man. Thank you, 10. Thank you. Maybe stop standing over him and go get another block, but whatever. It's a step in the right direction. So just watching 10 here. And again, this is well done. Like just run game wise, create a tight flank, get after them. Nice thunder block there from 10, going inside out. Boom. big chunk. Get the run game going. Find it. Next one here, little naked boot. We're going to throw a corner to your boy 85. This is a dime of a throw. I think it's a nice play from the safety. I think 85 has got to do a better job of protecting that ball after he catches it. Now, we're going to pull the guard here as well. So it's going to create some kind of what I consider like front side leakage. It's not like a true naked, but this is a dime of a throw, right? Like talking about moving the launch point for Justin Fields, doing it right here. On the run, that's a dot. That's right where you want to throw it. You have to catch that ball. And I know the defender knocks it out, but you got to protect that ball with your body. You got to have a feel, a sense that the guy's back there. It's not just routes on air. So for me here, I mean, this is this is one of those ones, man, when you're not going to get stuff like this hit, when you throw a dot on this and you let this guy, essentially the middle field player, come from the heavens. You know, the other thing here is it would be nice if we had something that would at least threaten him vertically to keep that hit off of us on the corner, just scheme-wise here or speed-wise. But when you get condensed, sometimes these are the things that can happen. So again, just, you know, play this thing out where instead of, again, you be the judge. I'm just pointing out what's on the film. When you get condensed like this and you have what I consider maybe not the fastest guy in the world blowing the top off this, and he kind of gets what I would consider like slowed, like muddied here, like this gets muddied. This allows this guy to say, F it, I'm coming downhill to make the play. So all these things interwoven together matter. None of these things can be by chance in the league. You got to go, bro, at the bottom. You got to go. You see that shitty, like it looks like he like doesn't want to connect to the corner and like slows it. That allows the corner, the safety, to come make the play. And 85 has to catch it and bring it to his body and protect himself. He thinks he's doing like a, you know, toe tapper on the sideline. So 13 can't blow the top off. We got to catch that ball. We got to get that right to our chest immediately. We can't just like look down and try to get our toes in and be cute like we think we're like a wide receiver. Catch it, protect it. Damn. Next one here, second and forever. Most teams are thinking get halfback. I love going empty here. Little stick up top to your boy 85. On him. He runs right into the corner. Of course he would. But again, this is nice from Fields. Just take what's there. It's not like this is the most dynamic play in the world, but he makes it look easy. That's a layup. Get halfback. Make it a manageable third down. And again, I love the idea of going spread, but not being like 3x2 open. So you keep the inline tight end. So we've got this guy up on right here. We're just going to run up and out into what I'm going to say is like a cloud corner. So we get this idea of he's out there like this. Come up. Look at all that space, right? Like we're just attacking pockets in the zone. So come up there, run out of it if you think you have to, and then hopefully you don't run right into the corner. But this is a nice job. And if it wasn't there, he'd probably work the in theory, to the number 2 at the bottom. So again, just a nice, easy completion. You can see the things, you know, trying to keep this thing as positive as possible. When they're easy completions, they're take it. And again, he's playing this in rhythm. Watch him hit his back foot. Boop. All his cleats in the ground. It's on him. Nice throw. Third manageable. So that third and manageable is 3rd and 4. We're going to end up getting a completion to 85 up top in the slot, who does a decent job of settling down in that hole. The problem is that, you know, it's one of those things that's a fine line between complaining about an interception or complaining about a completion, but realizing we're making this way more difficult than it has to be. And in fact, we're not playing it how it's designed to be played. And this is how you start pissing off your coaches. So for me here, this is just a simple stick up top with like a crosser to the bottom. Very kind of air raidy Y cross, what I was asking for earlier for Justin Fields. Thinking that this could be something that he very easily could read out really well. So for me here, this is just a little stick or out. We are then going to run what is normally referred to as a must outside release go. That's up top. To the bottom, this is what I'm used to calling Y cross paired with an in. Okay? And you don't have to be a genius to realize you read this thing left to right. You potentially can alert this thing or like this thing versus really nice matchups. That off coverage is probably not one of them. So what you really do is just read this saying 1 right here, 2 right here, 3 to the in. And again, we've proven at this point, right now, okay, I'm not saying forever, but right now we can't get to a backside in. Justin Fields is not willing to do it. So play this thing out as you would kind of the tempo of your feet. So let's say we go 3-step drop. You would be hitched 1 right here, hitched 2 right here. So you'd reset your feet again to go boom right there to the over. And then you'd come all the way back to the in, just like that. Doom, 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 left to right. And again, I think this is close to as wide ass open as you can get for a simple 1, 2, 3 read. So no up top. The flat defender pushes wide. No, right away. Okay, crosser. Probably not. In, yes. Again, I mean, just play the tempo of it with his feet. 1, 2, 3, hitch, hitch, throw. You can see he's bailing there before he even gets to the in, and that's why he doesn't throw it. He's got to trust that. Then he kind of goes to bail, but realizes, oh shit, I don't have to. And now I'm in scramble, go make a play. And fortunate right here, 85 does a nice job settling in the hole, doesn't move, is patient, good things. Thank you. No. See how he goes to leave? So he's checking the crosser now. Now his feet are telling him to go, and his eyes, so see his feet, he's going to run, his eyes are at the in. So that's the tempo of it. It should be stick, no, crosser, no, in, yes, as opposed to we've lost our feet there, we're sloppy, we're out of rhythm, oh shit, now we're back in it, make a play. So it's a first down, but it feels rough. Okay, this next one is the one that everybody's all up in arms about, and I agree that there are guys running wide open. I also want to state, like I feel like I do pretty consistently on this channel, that I don't know what their read is. I don't know. I would hope that no matter what the read is, that we could find a completion and potentially a touchdown pass on this play. Now, because it's kind of a unique play with how they kind of get there, I can only go by how Justin Fields looks like he plays the play. So it looks to me like he plays the play where he's trying to throw it to the wheel. Now, I know it's easy, and I know, man, you guys are tempted to screenshot this sucker right now. You want a screenshot? Let me just show the screenshot so I can make sure. I mean, that we got it. That's a touchdown, right? Look at him do the jumping jacks right there. Double mailbox. I mean, screenshot it in your mind. Don't physically do it. And sure as hell, don't post it and tag me. Okay, but the design of this thing is a unique play. So at least I want to acknowledge the innovation element of it. Okay, this is not your cookie cutter play. I think it's a weird play just spacing wise here with this wide ass split. So what is the play? The play to me is an in route here. What I'm going to call as a bluff wheel here. So we're coming out and like into the wheel. And then the back here is going to try to get up the seam. You know, I've played this play before, called this similar plays before. It takes a long time for this to develop. Now, how you read this out matters, because is this route at the bottom, is that a real option? Like, is that 1, this is 2, and this is 3? Or is this route to the bottom really more of a clear? So we're essentially trying to like gather that free safety. Now, if that's really, truly a clear, to me, I would want it more posty. And that's to me when it's more of a clear. When it's an in, it's got a little bit more of a number 1 element for me. And if it was a post, I'd want it condensed a little bit, because the space of this takes forever, because you guessed it, your boy takes forever to run a swing to the wide side of the field. And I should say that would take forever for almost every tight end. It takes forever. It's too far to run. And so let's just say the quarterback school read here would be the ball needs to go here. Now, does this open up eventually? Yes. But you don't pass on 1 to get to a potential number 2. That's not a recipe to play quarterback ever, anywhere. Okay, so that's the hard part. But let's play it out like how Justin Fields looks like he plays it out, because this is the weird part. It looks like he's not throwing it to the 1, like that's not an option. He's trying to force it to the wheel. He's not there. And then it looks like he tries to get it to the check down. He's not there. So he almost plays it 1-2. And so he never sees the open guy, the open in, and he certainly never sees the kind of late seam because he plays this thing 1-2. And we'll see exactly how he shrugs this thing from behind. But again, these are the ones that I just acknowledge. I don't know the read, man. I can tell you that for my money, and this is just for my money, 13 at the bottom is not running hard. He's just not. Like, that's just not fast. That's not NFL fast. The wheel to the bottom, it's not there. It takes forever. 85, just not fast enough to run a wheel from the wide side. It's just not fast enough. It's bad design. So you can see here, he shrugs right there. Is he shrugging the wheel or is he shrugging the seam? Only he knows. Ask him about it, somebody. If he's shrugging the seam, he's got to throw it. He says no. He says no to something, either the wheel or the seam. He says no to the check down, and now it's a. So I mean, it's a bummer, and I think it starts with the lack of speed down here at the bottom. It starts with the design. It takes forever. Justin's indecisive, and again, I think it starts and stops for me on this channel by just acknowledging I don't know what the read is. But even that fact that I can't make sense of it probably is not a good idea. And you would hope that just his feel for the game, like you would never see, like, and I know I don't want to make the analogy with Patrick Mahomes, but I will just the idea, the feel of the pocket. There's no pressure. I know he's been getting hit, but just hang back there or go backwards or escape out. There's no reason to just get swallowed up like that when you've got a guy standing open for a touchdown, and we don't have to know the read. Don't force it. I like not forcing it, but don't do that either. Next one, second and long again. We're thinking get half back. For me, this is a not great from Justin Fields. So for me, he's passing on open guys through a progression, and this feels like it's happened too much. So he says no to the quick out left, yes to the sit. You got to say yes to the sit. The sit is there. And again, I'm not a huge fan of wide receivers clapping like this, but I get it too. Just throw it right on the one, throw it right on his right shoulder. It's open. That's NFL open, man. You got to throw it right there. Throw it right down the hash. Put it, this is open. Put it right there. You don't even have to put it right there. Put it right there. It doesn't matter that he's there breaking on it. You put it where you want. He's then able to kind of turn and go. I don't know, man. And then to go from that to, skunking a check down. I actually like the way that they kind of run these checkdowns. I feel like I've seen this a few different places. I saw Dak do it the other day, I think. This idea being, I'll talk about the checkdown first. This little swing, and instead of having like a flat nothing, you have like a lead blocker. So it's like a pseudo swing. It's like a pseudo screen. But this play is just quick out, which sucks. If you watch this channel, not a fan of it. Okay. I think someone runs out underneath it. Great. Good decision to not throw it. But this over the ball, it's there for my money. I think you pair it with like a corner. It's never an option. So really it's just a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, throw it. Gotta throw it. Now it's open. Don't overcomplicate this. It's already hard enough to play quarterback in the league. You can't not throw 5-yard routes that are open. No, yes, it's open. Throw it. Throw it. And then if you go to throw this, you certainly can't fucking skunk it like this. It's a 15-yard throw. You can't miss it by bouncing it in front of the plate. You can just play it out. Left, no. Over the ball, yes. Boom. That fast. That's it. That's fast. Completion, third manageable. Instead, now it's third and forever. 3rd and 13. We're going to take another nasty sack. Now, for me here, I can't tell you where the ball should go other than the fact that it should probably go to the mesh over the ball to Moore. I don't pretend to tell you what this read is. There's not a whole lot of options down the field. Again, I personally think his footwork is really sloppy, drifty, strip sack. It's one of those things for me. This feels like an element of being overcoached to be like, you're staying in the pocket, bro. Do not leave the pocket. Because to me, this is just, we'll call it deep in. call it deep out, corner maybe. We'll call it iteration of mesh here, where I think the ball should probably go right here. And then it looks like it's paired with like a check mesh as well, which is hilarious that he has the option to take it if he feels like he can, which is a totally different conversation. But I mean, really the only place that this ball can go is right here. It's 3rd and 13. Just don't take a sack. Certainly don't take a turnover. And when I'm talking about sloppy footwork, I'm talking about at the back of the drop, just keep your base and work through whatever progression this is supposed to be. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to pretend. But like the driftiness element of it, we just don't have to do it. There is no reason to do it. There's no like violent pocket movement needed. Just get through the read. Just get back there and throw it to 2 at the bottom. Right there. Boom. He settles up, put it on him. Maybe he makes somebody miss and gets a first down. But this is the stuff that pisses people off. Everybody in the building, fans, holding onto the ball, drifty, sack. Now, it's one thing if you drifty, and then go make a crazy ass play. But you're almost out there like what? Like, this isn't flag football, bro. You're going to get hit. Go. Protect the ball. Go. Damn. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I sincerely appreciate you subscribing. It means a lot to me, so thank you for subscribing to the channel. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, get even more Quarterback School content, really content just like this video. So you dig this video, you dig the in-depth, nuanced, detailed takes, you will love the Quarterback School Patreon community. We also have Quarterback School courses. Now, these courses are the premium content available through the channel, in-depth, detailed dives on all of my favorite football subjects, RPOs, tempos, pass protections, certainly relevant in this video, how to beat every single coverage, relevant in this video. We even have an entire offensive system and structure available over there. So get over there and enroll in Quarterback School courses. Links are in the video description. We also have a bunch of free resources available, also linked in the video description. Finally, make sure to follow me across social media platforms. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. All right, next one here. Coming out, first pass, I think, of the third quarter. Big chunk here. We're trying to take a shot down the field. We've got a big flag as the number 1, a sail as a number 2. I know everybody probably thinks he should throw that sail or corner to Moore. For my money, it's a good decision not to. Now, I've got so many issues with this, and it's both pass pro, design, the fact that we're going back to these types of throws, which I think is related to the family of the scissors route that I said I never wanted to see again. So first off, just recognizing they went to halftime and came back thinking, hey, this is what we want to get to. Let's have this guy run really slow, have an illegal motion going forward, and run a check down. And then we'll essentially run scissors. I know it's not scissors, but the play is scissors. The read is the same. Instead of normal scissors, you just run this guy to the back pylon. So it's like this 3-layer cake, deep, intermediate, check down-ish. Okay, now don't even get me started on whatever the hell the inline tight end is like check posting on. Okay, I can't right now. What I can tell you is that a lot of people will probably watch this film and say that the ball should go to the number 2, literally, on what I'm going to call as this sail or corner. I personally don't think it should. So I'll pause it at the back of the drop. But to me, that corner is looking back right at the quarterback at the top of the drop, and he would be able to make a play on that ball if we threw it. So I think the decision is correct. There's just nowhere to go with the ball because the flat defender pushes wide. So we've got nothing there because there is nothing in the middle of the field because we essentially close this half of the field. I mean, there's no options. So all we have is deep flag, not going to be there. Sail, to me, not there. And then whatever the hell this illegal motion check down is. This is not good enough in the NFL, man. In my opinion, this is not good enough scheme. We don't have enough answers to be able to create space and win down the field with this. So you couple that with hilarious pass protection, interior-wise. But again, let me pause it at the top because I know people are going to look at this element of it and say it's open. It's not open, in my opinion. He hits his back foot. He wants to throw that thing. Look at the corner up top, right underneath the 5. He's right where you're going to throw the ball. And he's not even in a full pedal. He's under control. I think it's a good decision not to throw it. You know, fortunate that ball sails over his head and doesn't sail to the left at all. Now, pass pro wise, y'all, This is not O-line school. I never played O-line. I don't pretend to be a guru. I can tell you that just from coaching it a little bit and certainly being part of a number of different units, pass protection units, the coaching point here for me is that if you're going to pass off games anywhere within the pass protection unit, so I'm talking about the back, the tight end, anybody, you have to get some depth at offensive line. You can't pass protect very well here unless it's quick game. So I'm always looking for guys to get the hell out of their stance, get some depth. Everybody get some depth. Allow this shit to sort itself out. If they want to run crazy games, great, let them do it. But you can't do it at different levels. So if we're going to essentially short set here, like try to jump set, and we're going to try to get some depth here, and they're going to run a game here where a little angle, a little TT, well, you're never going to be able to pass it off because this guard is so tight. He doesn't get any depth. So he stays there. We essentially pick him and we're by him. And it's just it's not good enough, man. This wouldn't be good enough on Friday nights. You get some fucking depth out of your stance. Again, it's 65 is like myopic. He's like only worried about the 3 technique. Those guys can switch sides. They can run games. They can run picks right into you. Ricochet right into Justin. I mean, he doesn't even have a chance. How many hitches does he get? Hitch, throw. I mean, he doesn't get 2 hitches? We got to be able to get at least 2 hitches. Again, the drop is the drop at this point. Damn. Now, on a positive note, my guy 85 and my guy 10 came to play on this counter. It's a beautiful tray. It's an absolute ejection block from 10. Watch him come from the right side of the screen. So first watch 85, the tight end. That's a beautiful tray. But yo, my goodness, go in there and dig out the DB. Boom, Jesus, get out of the club. My goodness, I absolutely love it. Bro, if we could play with that kind of energy. Now, the bummer about this is that it's an unbelievable block from the tight end and the wide receiver. It's world class. But we are taking an L at right guard. And just that blows up what should be a beautiful counterplay. So first off, again, what I'm talking about is the great block here is this, what I'm used to calling a tray block. So this tray double team is going to the backside inside linebacker. So they're going all the way back to this player right here. If it was the guard and center, I'm used to calling it an ace. If it's the guard and tackle, I'm used to calling it a deuce. So this tray block all the way back to the will. Okay, what is happening here with everybody else, everybody on the front side of this play has gap down. So is there someone in your gap? Yeah, you're going all the way back to the 3 technique. Gap down. This is the block we lose. These two are going back to here. We are then kicking from the tackle position, kick out, and then we are wrapping from the fullback position, right inside, right off that double team. And then the wide receiver is coming in for the body block, and we're just kicking this cat out of the club. Okay, so it's a really nice, it's beautifully blocked. Everything except for this play right here. If you've got this angle, if you're an NFL guard and you've got this angle on anyone, okay, anyone, I don't care if it's Aaron Donald, you have to be able to just lose with dignity there and be a wall. You cannot get pushed back into this play. You cannot. This is unacceptable at any level. But in the NFL, this cannot last. I mean, the guard just gets, that looks like varsity against JV right there. That's not going to work. But that tray block, I mean, 85 is doing it right there. You guys think I'm joking about being eligible. That thing is nice. And then that is a hell of a block from Claypool. Get out the club. Ta-dunk. I mean, that should be made to order. I mean, I probably don't need the extracurricular activities 10, but do you, bro? Whatever, man. I don't care. They got a TFL. You smoked him. Next one here, 2nd and 13. Sack. This is tough. Left tackle. To me, it looks like the left tackle is confused. Justin Fields has no chance here. This looks like 4 verticals with like a shallow from the back as the check down. The left tackle to me looks like he thinks he's in a big duel. And so what that means is he essentially has to short set thinking he's going to get beat into that B gap and protect the B gap when really he doesn't have a big duel. And his pass set is horrendous and it becomes a short edge and Justin Fields has no chance. So it's kind of like a catch-22 when we're like, well, why does Justin look so uncomfortable in the pocket? It's because of shit like this. Okay, this is not me making excuses. This is just the film. So right here, you need to get depth and width to be able to block this guy one-on-one. And I'm not saying it's easy. Okay, it's not easy. What you don't want to do is lose inside. Okay. Now that being said, they being the offensive line, these four are going to these four. Okay, so those four have those four, but it looks like this tackle thinks he's got 1 to 2, meaning that if this guy were to hit this gap, he would close the door on him. He would, instead of pass setting, so if this guy were to hit here, it looks like the left tackle thinks he's going to short set and close that door, and then we'll be hot here. But that's not the case. You can see the guard and the center coming this way. So it's a communication error, it looks like, that leads to a technique error, which because he's then short setting, we then leave a short edge, and this is an easy sack. So again, it's so many elements of this. It's not easy. Okay, I'm not pretending to say it's easy, but you got to be all on the same page. Again, what is 70 doing? Look at the set. You can't turn the door like that. You got to get out of there, bro. You got to get some depth. Good night. I mean, that is just terrible pass protection. You got no fucking chance to play quarterback like this. Doop, see ya. Hold on to the ball. Next one, quarterback run game. We've been asking for it. Get Justin on the edge. Great. This is, to me, an example of we're overthinking this. We're trying to be way too cute from the Chicago Bears offensive architecture design run game here. You're losing the math with the quarterback run game when you do shit like this. Okay, and I know at this point this thing has gone way off the rails from being QB school to being offensive school, pass pro school. But the design-wise, so a few things. First, okay, the very first thing is if we're going to motion this way, nobody goes with him. Like there's no one over here. You would think, oh, the nickel's going to run or something. They don't. Nobody moves. So what you end up doing is just losing a blocker. So the math that you would normally get from running like toss crack, where he would catch it and flip it to this guy, you would normally get a seal, and this kind of like pull block. So we're essentially seal, pull. That's what we normally get. But because we decide, you know what, let's get crazy cute, dog. Let's run this little motion that'll trick fuck them. They won't know what the hell's happening. Now all you get is the same thing as a normal toss crack play, because this guy, the back now, takes the role of the extra puller. So the math is the same as the normal run play. You're losing the benefits of the quarterback run game. The quarterback run game is supposed to be a +1. So if there's anybody in the middle of the field, you have the +1. You have the +1 unless you do shit like this where you uselessly waste people with motion. So it's terrible design. It's then a shitty snap, which it happens multiple times. Then we get run through. So we get the linebacker type. He's just running through. So what these rules are for guys when they are, so say we get a seal, and let's say we block the correct guy and seal this thing. When you are pulling here, and again, this is not offensive line school, but when you're pulling, I usually tell guys pull and hunt inside out with bad intentions. So you can't run by somebody who you feel is then going to go make the tackle. The thing that kills this type of pin and pull play, toss crack play, is run through. I mean, there's just so many levels of bad. It's shocking. Wasting blockers. We're wasting blockers. Now we only have one pin. We can't get to the middle linebacker. We've got guys, it looks like the left tackle is pulling with his eyes closed. You got to hunt inside out. If the left tackle just blocks the linebacker right there, we got a chance. Now again, the tight end, Kyle Orton, misses on the point as well. I mean, it's not going to be there. But we've got so many levels of bad, both the blocking, the pulling, just the feel, the design. Man, damn. Next one, another hitch. You guessed it. I actually don't even know how Justin Fields gets to this hitch up top. I think most people who played this play would probably come to the stick to the bottom versus middle field open. But good on you. I mean, under center, 3-step. It's like a time warp, right? But it's there. You know, even if hitches are for witches, we got to keep coming back to it if it's all we got. Again, I don't pretend to know what's going on as far as the antics, the theatrics for a 3-step, but good on you. I mean, The other thing about it, and I didn't watch the broadcast, but the ball comes out of his hand funky a few times. Like, is that ball tipped? Or that we're getting a wobbler like that? I mean, it just seems like his whole throwing mechanics seem out of whack sometimes. Like he's almost like not connected to it with his lower half. Just bizarre. And again, I don't what's going on here with like bringing the slot down to run a sit. And then just the look of this. So normally, what this looks like to me, we're going to get hitch up top. So hitch, and then what I'm going to call like stick or sit there, and then stick down here, which is just like a stick and a flat. Most times I would say if you catch middle field open, you don't want to live in a hitch world very often unless you know it's quarters, because they might cloud you and you got nothing there. You got to come right to the sit. I think most people would read this out. Split field coverage. Let's just work the stick because we know we can get 2-on-1 on that flat defender. But right here, take the hitch, go back to the hitch well. It's one of the few things we feel confident with. 3-step under gun, time warpy, but get a completion. Okay. Again, I don't quite know like what we're doing there with the antics. It's not for me all to throw a hitch. At least he gets all his feet in the ground, throws out that wobbler. Next one, 3rd and 8. Thought this was a nice call. I know this is going to get into the feelings of people when we start talking about screens and nice calls, but this is a nice call to 85. This actually should be a bigger play, I think. I'm trying to tread lightly here, but for me, this showcases 85's just lack of feel. It also showcases a lack of feel from the left tackle and left guard and center, but this should be a decent hit. Now, it's a first down, okay? So at the end of the day, for me, actually, I'll pause it when we let this thing play. So when he goes to throw this thing, and I think it's a good call because of how they were getting off the rock. I felt like they were really getting off the rock on the edges. So their defensive ends are trying to cheat, and they've already got us a few times sack-wise. So come back with this tight end screen is a nice call. The problem here is that when he goes, so we throw this thing, hook it up right here, Komet decides he's just going to go. Like he thinks this is a check down. He's got no feel. And this is what I'm talking about when I say the film shows these things. When our left tackle gets out there a little slow, I think the center also gets out there a little slow. But come on, dog. Like this can't be like the first screen you've ever run in your life. You got to have some feel. You got to set these blocks up. You can't go in front of the blockers. What are we doing? And I know it's a first down and it doesn't really matter, but it does reveal just a lack of football IQ. I mean, it's just like closing your eyes. You've got 2 blockers there. You've got the center and the left tackle. Now, I would love the left tackle to go, and he definitely needs to go faster, but 85 just can't go forward. What? I mean, it's really not a screen. It's really like a little Y delay because none of the blockers block anybody. It's terrible football. It's just bad. It's embarrassing football, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I would be embarrassed if this was my film as either an offensive architect, a coach, a player. What the fuck is 85 doing? Look at him. It's almost like sabotage screen. Like, use the blockers, man. Damn. Next one here. This is a rough miss from Justin here, hitting the corner to the bottom. I'm not a huge fan of this motion, the way that they use motion in general, but this is just simple spot to the bottom. The corner's there. It's open for NFL standards, and we're just skymailing this. Our feet are all over the place. I mean, we can't. Just looks totally unsettled, discombobulated. These are simple reads. At this point, this is the type of shit where you start really running out of excuses. I'm not saying it's an easy look because I don't think it is. The concept here is what I'm used to calling spot, flat, usually paired with a corner. Okay, that's the concept. The look is not that easy because to me, they eventually get to cloud. So we get this flat defender rolled up with the safety over the top and the half field player. That's why this thing is so open. So you go from kind of having your eyes right here thinking, I'm going to have the spot or the flat. No. And then this thing pops on you. And so you just have to, you got to give them a catchable ball. I mean, that's the end of the day. This is open. But again, watch that safety up in the middle of the field kind of come down here. So you see him immediately come down here on kind of like a 2 invert. No. Yeah. I mean, we got to be able to put it right on him. That's an easy, clean look. You're just not going to be successful in the NFL when you're missing this consistently. And the footwork leads to it. So again, Just look at how unsettled it looks. Panic. That's panic. I mean, that is, you know, the only person who's ever done that and had success is Peyton Manning, and we're not Peyton Manning right now. This next one's brutal. 3rd and 3. This to me is both stick, and really it's triple stick. We're making shit up. I would bet a lot of money that 10 is in the wrong here. For my money, he probably has a flat. It's really hard to be successful playing quarterback like this. And in fact, I would lose my skull. So for me, I think up top, they run it correctly. So this is what I'll draw up what both stick looks like. The number 1 runs a stick route. The number 2 is in the flat. Stick route. Number 2 is in the flat. When you run this down here to the bottom, which is essentially stick route, you get high school Harry bullshit, no chance, 0 chance. Cannot be successful like this. This happened now back-to-back weeks. It's way too many times that it happens once in a season. This is embarrassing. And again, I don't want to, I have no, and I don't pretend that I have any power to get people fired at all. 0 chance. But I'm just showing you this is how people get fired. Okay? And it's either 10 not knowing the offense. It's either, maybe it's not 10, maybe it's 2. I'm just going to say, just because of how it's run up top, and how that is how most people run it from a condensed formation. I mean, it just sabotaging your quarterback. You got no fucking chance. And I get it that it wouldn't go through anyway because he throws a missile into someone's head here, which is a different conversation. Now we're getting pushed back. Now we decide to get depth. Just getting walked back in our lap. We got no balance or strength at left guard. So it's rough, man. Next one here, another rough one. Again, I don't pretend to know why they keep closing half the field. To me, it just is an indicator that they don't trust Justin Fields at all. Hard to be successful here with the bluff wheel to the field. I don't think that there's a good answer here. You know, obviously we've got some pass pro issues as well. I just don't understand what we're asking the quarterback to do. There's no chance we can be successful here. This is actually a really nice play from the tackle, and might be the first time ever that this channel turns into the line school, which I will show the next time we show the defensive end zone. But this is a nice stunt. They get home. I think you almost deserve to get sacked when you run shit like this. This to me is like a high red zone play, not like a between the 40s play. So for my money, what's going on here? This is like we're faking what most people call a spear or arrow screen up top. So we're trying to make it look like we're going to throw this little quick flat where these guys come off and block MDM. Well, the sweet irony is that it would be a decent play if we just did that. And really, they haven't done it enough to do it. They ran it last week, but they haven't done it this game. So what they do here is they run this flat, and then we run what I'm used to calling a bluff wheel. So he comes off like he's going to block, and then he runs the wheel. And then you usually pair it with a post to kind of run like a clear. So you're really all you have is this. That's it, unless it's 0. This is a hard-ass throw from the wide side. You really just got to kind of let it go and trust it that it's like a guaranteed hole shot. So you got no chance here. You tell me, where do you want him to throw the ball? That hole shot? He's already getting grabbed. He can't even he's faking and then shuffling, and he's getting hit. So we don't even have time to throw it. I'm not saying it's a good decision to throw it to the number 2 in the hole. I'd say if you threw a perfect throw, like high and wide, it would be a nice throw. But look at, and then we're doing probably my least favorite check down to my least favorite check down runner at the bottom on the nub, the old check post, double middle finger. I mean, come on, dog. The ball has bounced twice before the tight end turns around on his check post. Who the fuck runs a check post multiple times? What are we doing? Get out of here with that nonsense. Then from behind here, I want you to watch the D tackle on the shade here on the left. Watch him grab the center. Right there. So see how the center can't come off and block 45? It's supposed to be the right guard and the center for 45, but the defensive tackle gives you a little defensive holding right there underneath the armpit. Look at him. You know what I hear when I see this? Look out, Justin. Look out! Damn. It's good defense, man. Now, I'm not mad at you. I'm just pointing out. We're just showing the film. You know, you're here for the film and the jokes, right? Got jokes. This whole thing is a fucking joke at this point. I can't handle closing the field like this. I can't handle pass protection like this. I can't handle what the back is doing here. Help me out, back. You know, don't let color run right by you. Come on, dog. Somebody help us out. Somebody. That was not a fumble. Next one here, 3rd and 10. This is rough, man. This is really fortunate. This probably should be an interception up top. A little burst out up top. I haven't seen this concept of corner out work since the mid-90s in the SAC region for high school football. But I don't know what to say other than the fact that it's hard to throw these speed outs when you're going kind of chilling in your drop. Ball comes out like it got tipped. I mean, let's hope it got tipped. I didn't go back and watch the TV copy. I don't know if it got tipped. But my God, is that a joke? That thing looks like that would be, I mean, I can't. Let the wobble wash over you guys. I mean, that's the thing. Like, this kind of sums it up for me, because Justin Fields at Ohio State, you can say a lot of things about it. I think he was one of the most accurate college football passers of all time, and the ball came off his hand nice. Like, there was some rotation to it. It might not be Aaron Rodgers with the revolutions, but he was spinning it. To have that, I mean, something's off. Then concept-wise here for me, I have not seen this concept work, no shit, since 1995, 96, summer, Sacramento, 7-on-7. Out, corner. It's just, the spacing of it is not good enough for me outside of high school football. You pair it with an in, we know he's not going to get to the backside in right now. Now, could you pause it at the top and say, dude, you should totally throw it here? Yeah, you could. You know, I think potentially you could make the argument, and I would listen to you, that this guy is squeezing that out the whole time, so I'm not throwing that out. I probably wouldn't throw that out because I hate these burst outs. So they do some like bullshit design, short motion, then we burst out, really tough throw, tough split. He's outside leverage, lots of bad. Maybe, you know, if you were just dealing, you could throw it to the flag if you felt that. I think most guys who play in the league would say, no, come back here and work the backside into a check down. But we force it. It comes off our hand like duck hunt, and it's just, you know, we got the dog chasing for it in the weeds. Just, oh my God. Get fortunate right there that he couldn't get his feet down. It's none of it's good enough. Again, and I'm going to tread really lightly here because I'm not a throwing mechanics guru. Okay, but it looks like he's like fiddling for the laces there, which makes it weird. So taking a while to get the laces. Then when he goes to throw it, it just looks like, I don't even want to say it. It just looks like he's not generating as much torque as he could from his hips and his core. It looks like it's just so armsy. Even though he kind of sinks in it, it's so much, to me when I'm watching him, and this is more of an overall thing versus this specific rep, although this specific rep, I think it's there. I like his foot in the ground. Okay, the timing of it, to me, we've already talked about the drop ad nauseum at this point. But for me here, he's so linear. Like, he's so in a line to these throws that it feels like he's not generating any sort of power from his hip, from his core. It's almost like his arms are getting started before his core is loaded. So it's like disjointed. So it's like arms, and then we're trying to catch up with it. And that's why the ball's coming off so bizarre. I mean, it's just, you don't see NFL quarterbacks throw balls like this unless it gets tipped. You know, maybe it does get tipped. I don't know who tips it though. Holy shit. My God. Y'all, I'm starting to get fatigued. I'm not going to lie. Another example of disjointed offense. For me at the bottom, we're not on the same page. This should probably be a hitch. He expects a hitch. It's not there. From there, the ball for me should probably go to the in, reading this thing out right to left. It looks like he panics and we miss. So to the right, we're screwed. Come back to the left, we skip a read. It looks terrible. I mean, there's so much bad. It's so consistent. I just don't quite understand how it's happening on an NFL field. So for my money, this thing, and again, I'm not in their quarterback room. I don't know for sure, but I can tell you that this up here is a hitch. This down here should probably, in most offenses, it will probably be a hitch. For whatever reason, he takes it and runs a go. Okay, now maybe it's a conversion. Maybe they convert it versus press. To me, this looks Bailey and middle field close, so it's not cloud. So they're not on the same page. If I had to bet a lot of money, I would say that Justin is anticipating a hitch. We run a go, not on the same page. From there, so that's, if this is 1, okay, great. For me here, this is almost guaranteed to be 2. So go 1. All right, he screwed you. It happens. You not on the same page. Now, it happens more for them than most teams. Just reset and throw it right here. It's there, dog. We can't be missing these ins. It's baked into every system. It's not like, oh, it's my, dude, the quarterback school loves backside ins. It's fucking every high school system. No, in. I mean, it's, right? Like, that's a good chunk. There's no way your second read is whatever 85 is doing. Choppy, 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 choppy. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Throws behind me, circus catch, drop. Fuck. Just throw the in, man. Well, first of all, be on the same page to the bottom. And then if you get screwed or he doesn't do what you want, just get through the progression. 1, 2, 3. If you can count to 3, you can play for me. And right now, Justin Fields is getting to the point where he's showing that he might not be able to count to 3 consistently from the pocket. Next one, when it rains, it pours. Let the shotgun snap high and wide, go high and wide again. And we're throwing, it looks like a tunnel screen to the left. Y'all, it's hard to throw these tunnel screens. I know people don't think they're hard throws. It's really like turning 2. And especially for a guy who's kind of long to begin with, a perfect snap matters. This high snap, way off to the right, it's going to be really hard to catch it and throw it to the left, number 1. You want to get a perfect snap and like quick throw that thing out there. Grip it and rip it. Catch, throw. I mean, you can see it's set up. You know, who knows if it's going to be good or not, but the snap gives you no chance. And then not only do we not catch the snap, well, it's one thing if the snap is bad and you can't get the throw off, but like, just look at the bounce here. I mean, there's no Romo bounce at all. It's right off our foot, right to them, and then take a big shot. It's actually a nice play from Justin just to get back on it. But, you know, this is the part where it's, you know, is this on Justin? I mean, I guess he should be able to catch it, maybe. Don't have to one-handed, but we got to have a better snap. This isn't freshman football. I only coached high school for 2 years, but we had 2 years where we didn't miss a snap, and we never took a snap from under center. It's not that fucking hard. It really is not that hard. Damn. Next one here, second and long. Try and get half back. You know what they're calling. Hitches. It's out. Let it go. I mean, 3 of the better reps of the day, right? Throw more hitches. They're going to give it to you. I mean, the only thing I would say is lose the laces, grip it and rip it, and it will come out even faster. But maybe they're telling him to catch the laces. Maybe he can't throw without the laces. What do I know? To me, these are on here because they're one of the very few throws that continue to look easy. Catch, one-step throw. You know, you got 3 good options there. You got the stick from Kyle Orton. You got the hitch up top. It's looking good. We got good options. Get easy completions. Thank you. Thank you. Quick game. Quick game's where we're going to have to live for a little bit. Distribute it. Get it out of your hands. Let's go. Next one here, 3rd and 10. Finally, we come back to the in again. Had success early. Back to it here is kind of the front side read, so it's not the back side that we're not getting to. You know, if anything, I think he could throw this earlier. And maybe it's just me. Again, he's finally lined up a little bit to the left. Again, the ball coming off his hand funky. I think he's not doing himself any favors with his footwork at the top of these drops. But man, that's wide open. 3rd and 10, this is as open as you will ever see in the NFL, besides for just dropping a coverage. So for me here, this is just like double in. So short in, deep in. You read this thing 1 to 2. So you like it, let it rip. You don't like it, let it rip. So right here, we get to the 2. I mean, the only thing I would say, and again, I could harp on the footwork every play, so I'm trying not to. But if we're not going to go with more of a sense of urgency, I would say whatever this like gallop is, he like gallops into a 5. So even if we're taking a slow 5, it's the initial like catch and like goop, goop. I feel like I need like a horse like sound effect. Just go, catch it. See that little like hop, catch, hop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that base right there. No to the first end. No heel click. Yeah, like an extra hezzy hitch. Again, there's no anticipation, right? I mean, look when he lets this thing go. He's already running the in up top. I mean, I get it. I played in an offense with Mike Martz where this was a massive point of what we did. It was part of our DNA, part of like baked into the system. But you can throw this with massive anticipation, man. You just lay out that 7-iron, he runs right to it. Many offenses do it. Just get that thing out of your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, can just look at the ball. Why is the ball so? I've never noticed so much flutter on his game. It just looks disconnected and out of whack. This one really hurts for me, man. This is one of my least favorite reps of this game. I know people probably think it's a great rep. It ends up being the shallow to Moore across the field. Does a nice job like staying on it, giving him a chance, throwing it all the way across the field. For me here, I think this is a decent indication for all those people that don't want me in their feelings about this cat not being like a true number 1 in the league. For me, a true number 1 here is able to get his balance and go score. I mean, it just is. I get it. It's not an easy play. I'm not saying every guy in the league can do it. I'm saying a true 1. This is an example of the athleticism that I'm looking for. Catch it, go score. Okay? You can disagree. That's fine. The thing that really pisses me off about this play is that this play is a staple in the NFL. I mean, you go to any team, you are going to run what I'm going to call, this is shallow cross. So here's the shallow. It's usually paired with a deep hook and a curl or a 7-stop, something in the curl area. That's the play. Okay? Different teams read it different ways as far as man zone, 1, 2, but essentially you're trying to get it to this triangle. Okay? Right here. Now, the one thing that a lot of teams will do with this, okay, so let me clear that off for you. I'll put it back on as far as just the shallow. Shallow, deep hook, curl. Almost every team has like the base install, puts it with a post. And that post is a quarters 0 throw. Now, very rare that you get it. I think especially from a 2x2 condensed set like this, you'll get a quarters, catch quarters. This is it, dog. This is the alert. It might not be your verbiage, however you do it, 1A, whatever. This is the play. This ball has to be thrown here in every offense I've ever been a part of at the league level, collegiate level, high school level. Must throw this post. So not seeing it is not a good excuse. Play it out. It's quarters. That's the quarters throw. Throw it. Must throw post. Must throw post. There's no, I don't care. I got confused. I don't know what it is. You're paid to see the coverage. That's as easy of a quarters look as you'll ever see. Hit your back foot, throw the post. Throw it. Throw it. Throw it. Anticipate it. Throw 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 it. Just throw it right at the goalpost. He can hit his head on the goalpost. Not acceptable. And I know it ends up being a nice play, and I blamed it not being a touchdown on 2. Disagree. Must throw the post, man. I just, again, the recessy footwork, man, the backwards drifting, it only works for one guy, in my opinion, and we are not the guy in Kansas City. Just take your drop and see the coverage, throw the alert. Again, maybe I'm off my rocker and they don't teach it that way, but that'd be the only team I'd ever heard of that doesn't teach that play that way. Damn. Next one here, touchdown pass. Outstanding design, nice pass as well, nice route. These are nod posts with wheels. Really like these kind of burst releases as well. Just a big time throw. I think it could be better with better footwork, but that's just me. I'm a stickler. Maybe you're tired of me saying it. Shows off the arm strength, ripping it in there. There's a lot to like, y'all. A lot to like. So concept-wise, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this nod post. So you come off, both these sides are mirrored routes, so might as well draw up both of them here. So I'm talking burst. So these are burst release. So normally you'd run a post from just like a straight release, right? You'd come up and just run like that. But instead they're going to burst this thing, come in, come up, nod to the corner, and go back to the post. So there's a lot going on. This is creativity. I love it. Up, nod, post. Okay, so what that does is it creates a little bit of time and all sorts of issues on that corner. Put significant stress on the corners with those routes. Quarterback wise, all you have to do is beat this player. You gotta pick a side, beat the middle field player. It's paired with a wheel. So if that nod post isn't there, you've got those wheels going up the sideline. I love this play. I love it. It's outstanding design. Now, Justin Fields wise, I personally think at the back, if he were to have a tighter base, the ball comes out quicker. It's not as tight of a throw. So when he hits his base, to me, he gets his feet together. Clicky, which then he has to stride out. And now we're just a little late and it's a tight window throw. Okay, so first here, let's just watch the routes. So you can see it's mirrored routes. So both sides are going to be the same. Doesn't matter which number one you watch. Burst, up, nod, throw. So see that little nod, the indicator? Boop, throw. Now let's watch Justin Fields, Freudian slip. 1, 2, 3, heel click. See him come together like that? So that ball should be out. With any anticipation, we can throw that thing. Instead, feet come together. Now we got to rip it, barely get it in there. And you could make the argument that free safety could and should make that play. Heel click. Regardless, it's a nice touchdown. Go all the way back here. You can see how the wheels would play off. So if we didn't like that nod post up top, you can see 85 on the wheel, touchdown. Really nice concept. I love it. I just think it could be even cleaner. So even the good stuff feels like it's not clean. Watch the footwork. Click. Again, there's no reason to do that. That's just polish. Right there, throw it. It's almost like he's doing like karaoke, like come from behind. You don't have to do that. And then that's a tight window throw. I mean, that is tight. Whew. Touchdown. Next one here, just a brutal interception. We're down 3. We're backed up. We've already called the screen, penalty, backed up, going with the screen. Certainly a conversation around the play calling here and to go back to a screen. I think personally, these throws to me, backfield screens are always on the quarterback at the end of the day. It's your responsibility to deliver the ball or to throw an incompletion. That being said, I think the right guard doesn't help us at all. Okay, and I know I've been all over the offensive line and the interior offensive line, really. A 7 makes a hell of a play too. Okay, so it can be all of those things. But for me here, this idea being that when the right guard puts his hands on 7, you just don't have to. Only they know what the time clock is for these things. So what I mean by that is every screen at the league level usually has like a time, like, is this a 2-count screen? Is this a 1.5 count screen? Is this a 3-count screen? Is this taking forever? So if we're just going to run normal backfield screen, so up 1,000, out 2,000. You want the 3 interior guys hopefully to come out with you. So we get these 3 coming out. The phrase that I like to use is lose with dignity. Now, normally at the tackle positions, you'll slingshot. So you'll invite the rush up and kind of throw them by the quarterback. Well, they've been running games all day, and we haven't handled the game all day. So they run a little TE here for my money up underneath. So for my money here, this guard, as he gets his depth, you want to lose with dignity on whatever count you're on. So if it's a 2-count screen, 1,000, 2,000, go. So once you hit that, whatever threshold is, we'll say 1,000, let him go. So don't even put your hands on him and then get out and go block. Once you put your hands on him, now he's in the lane and you've kind of screwed the play. So this one's a hard one for me to put all on Justin Fields. I think we're so sloppy interior wise. They can't sort out any sort of stunt. There's no reason to touch that guy there. It gets muddy. Calling it back to back, certainly worth a conversation as well. It just sucks, man. Watch the right guard. Those hands right there. You can see, watch what the left guard does. See how the left guard tries to slingshot the guy out of there? So maybe if the right guard slingshot out of there, but that's not. He just he stops him. He like bench press warms up with him. You got to slingshot his ass out of there. And again, 7 makes a hell of a play. Again, in my opinion, the quarterback's job to deliver these balls, but the right guard doesn't do us any favors here. Just fucking brutal. Jesus. I do love Justin Fields' effort right here. Go get in there, mix it up, be a football player, but damn, that's rough, man. That's a game. Now we're essentially in a panic mode, down 10, 2-minute situation here. We're going to try to work the double in up top again. I think it's probably there to the same guy up top, number 1. We just get our head taken off. We're taking a massive L at left guard. Again, really hard to play quarterback like this, y'all. I know it's easy to say, hey, he looks panicky, bouncing around, but when you're getting your head ripped off after one hitch, these are real humans, people. The left guard is just, got no chance here. Again, this is me talking. I'm not their offensive line coach, but whatever the hell is the left tackle's doing is really screwing the left guard. Okay, and again, maybe they teach a totally different technique, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I can just tell you, universal pass pro rules. You want to be on the same depth. You want to be working at the same depth as the person next to you. You can't have one person short set and have the other person take a deep set to pass off any sort of help. The left guard is expecting the tackle to be somewhere for a presence. He doesn't have to help him. So he's expecting a pass set and a pass set. So when he goes to get into this, there should be an edge here. Okay, there should be help. He can't just free run right to the quarterback. So when we get this, what I'm going to call short setting here, for my money there, yes, it's on the left guard, but man, as a unit, they look out of whack. They look disjointed. They look like they're not on the same page. So again, look at the pass set from the right tackle. Now, maybe it's different because they're chipping with Kyle. That joke's not going to get old to me in this video, so deal with it. But, you got no chance to play quarterback. 5 hitch, even if you'd want the ball to come out on a 5 hitch there, you're getting decapitated. Last one here for the bleeding to stop. 3rd and 19, interception to the bottom. To me, if I had to put my money on something here, first of all, I think the ball should probably be caught. Hits 10 in the hands. Okay, maybe you disagree. I personally think the bigger issue is the disconnect between the passing route depth and the quarterback drop. Someone's in the wrong here. It's either Justin Fields or it's 10. And what I mean by that is the depth of this is not matching the depth of the drop. So this to me is an intermediate in. So the in depth, it's 3rd and 19. Okay, the depth, he runs this thing at what I consider like 10 to 12-ish. Okay, that in almost every offense from gun will be a 3-step drop. Well, Justin Fields takes 5, no hitch. That's a hard-ass that doesn't exist to throw an intermediate in. You just don't do it. So either he's supposed to get more depth, which very possibly might be the thing. Okay, it's there though. If he just takes 3 and throws this, it's there. And it's 3rd and forever. You're going to go for it on 4th. So I get why that might be the thing. So I almost want to, it hurts me to say this, but I almost want to think that 10 is in the right here. But, just look at the footwork. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No hitch throw. Again, it's there. That is just brutal, man. That's just an absolute dumpster fire. To be so disjointed at the NFL level, so consistently over the course of 2 weeks now, it feels icky, man. It feels like I need a shower after watching this film. Like I got to go brush my teeth. My goodness. From the back here, you can see it's a nice play from the safety. He's able to come downhill. He drives this thing. But man, it hits him in the hands, right? That's in it. That's in his hands. Good God. Just not on the same page. Just a really, really, really tough game from Justin Fields and really the whole offensive unit. Brutal. So that is a wrap. Justin Fields, the Bears, tough L in Tampa. Another rough week, if I'm being really candid. I think it was probably better than week 1, but not by much. And really there was a lot of similar problems as far as, let's just talk first, Justin Fields. For my money, you could harp on the drop, speed, depth, and I saw someone pick it up online and now it's kind of become a thing. You could harp on that all the time. I personally would prefer him to get into more of like a shuffle hybrid drop as opposed to so much kind of gallop 3, gallop 5. It just looks like it's not synced. So the timing of that with the drop back game looks disjointed, which then leads to things not looking like they're on the same page. And I don't think it helps with the reads. But the most kind of impactful thing that jumps from the film is Justin Fields is just having a hard time both trusting his pass protection and getting through his reads. There's just no way around it. If you can't get to a backside in every once in a while in the NFL, it's going to be not for long for you. And that's just the reality of what I think about playing the position. You can disagree, do you? But we got to be able to get to a backside in every once in a while. And it's not even a backside in. Sometimes it's just a number 2 work in the middle of the field. That's got to happen, and it's got to happen this week. The other part for me that jumps off the film is I don't want to see any more of those scissors concepts where he's just not seeing it outside. It's not coming off his hand clean. Things aren't happening clean. I don't love the fact that they close half the field for a number of drop back plays as well. It just doesn't feel like it fits. Things aren't structured well to give a quarterback a chance to be successful. You overlay that with terrible pass protection, a bizarre screen game that feels like it's called too often in weird situations, too consecutively for sure. And for whatever reason, they refuse to run Justin Fields in any sort of downhill run game. They tried to run zone read a few times. I showed what I thought was kind of trying to do too much. I thought they tried to do one kind of sweep, pin and pull-ish thing, but really poorly designed. I just want to see some Q counter, some Q power, some bash GT, some power read. Get downhill, spread him out, get downhill, get a little high school Harry, and just get him going vertically. The thing about his run game that I thought was so special last year was his ability to accelerate and get downhill. Running him sideways doesn't take advantage of that. And I get it. You don't always want to run your quarterback between the tackles. But at this point, what are we saving him for? Really, I mean, we got to see what it is. And right now, what it is not good enough. So we need to run him downhill. We need to couple that with more play action shots where we're moving the launch point. And I get it, when you're behind, you got to drop back. But we got to move the launch point, and we've got to take advantage of some throws down the field where he can see things develop. Okay, I want to see more crossers called. I want to see more big post opportunities. I showed one big post that he didn't take advantage of, but it was more of like an alert, something that you got to see when you're comfortable seeing coverage. Right now, it looks like things are going 100 miles an hour out there. You know, I still think he should be able to throw that alert post with the shallow cross concept, but obviously he can't see it, or they're not letting him, one or the other, or both. You know, you couple that performance with Justin Fields with what I think that system is kind of guardrailing him and not allowing him to kind of do more, which for whatever reason is their choice, whether that system has its own issues or whether they have seen in practice that he can't do it. I think the perimeter group certainly had a little bit better effort, but you continue to see the limitations. Okay. And I want to make sure I talk about the limitations of the perimeter unit. Everybody was so high on the improvements out there. I just don't see it across the board. I don't think they have a true elite number one. And just saying you don't have a number one doesn't mean you don't have a number one on your team. Yeah, Moore is the number one option on this team, but he's not an elite difference maker. The way that I think about it for the Bears is there another perimeter unit? Perimeter unit for me means wide receiver, tight end, running backs in the division that you wouldn't trade with. Would you rather have the Vikings perimeter? Yes. Would you rather have Detroit's perimeter? Probably. Would you rather have Green Bay's perimeter? Probably. At least I would. So that to me shows that we don't have necessarily a perimeter that's allowing us to be successful. That's not an excuse. That's just reality. In my opinion, the biggest weapon on this team is Justin Fields' ability to run. Well, we're not running him. So whose fault is that? Is that Justin's fault? Is that him being overcoached, saying, hey, don't go, stay in the pocket? Is that him saying, double middle finger, you guys, I'm going to be a pocket passer? I don't know. We don't know. We can just watch the film and say, for my money, if I had anything to do with the offensive architecture, we would be running the quarterback with a robust quarterback run game that takes advantage of the math, the +1. You get middle field closed, we are running quarterback run. Maybe he takes too many hits. Maybe he can't make it through the game. We got to find out. We're going to couple that with some big play action opportunities where we move the launch point and alleviate the pressure from the interior and the exterior elements of the line, because the line is not good enough to just drop back and throw the ball all over the place. And if I'm being honest, we're not good enough at the quarterback position either to be able to sit back there and get through reads. So all of those things, not successful, no opportunity. They have to make significant and substantial changes now. Not Saturday, not when you watch this video, 24 hours ago, last week. That's when the changes need to happen. And so hopefully it happens. I certainly appreciate you hanging to the end. I really do. I'm guessing this was a very, very long video. It's probably not going to be this long moving forward. I'm probably going to shift these over to the Patreon community pretty quickly because of how long they take to make. But I appreciate you hanging to the end. Let me know who you want to see next. I will see you next time. Have a good one.